All right, welcome. We will be getting started. Welcome to the Monday, September 8th, 2025 meeting of the Norwalk-La Unified School District Board of Education. Can we get attendance?
Ms. Free? Here. Ms. Amesqua?
Here.
Mrs. Langenwalter?
Here.
Mr. Rios?
Here.
Dr. Vidari?
Here.
Dr. Concio?
Here.
And Dr. Bresoff?
Here. At this time, Trustee Free will introduce a person to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'd like to introduce to you all Leilani Cano. She is a ninth grader at Norwalk High School. Academics are extremely important to her and are a source of pride. She is currently ranked as the #1 student out of a class of 476 students. In addition to academics, Leilani currently plays for Norwalk High School's volleyball team, as well as for a competitive volleyball club team for the very first time. Her favorite pastime outside of school is reading, the Harry Potter series being one of her favorites. She has an older sister who just graduated from Norwalk High and a younger brother who attends Corvallis Middle School. After high school, Leilani hopes to attend college, play volleyball, and become an immigration lawyer. That is her personal crusade. Her favorite part about Norwalk High School is the welcoming environment on campus. She says that the teachers are very helpful and students say hi to one another throughout the day. Welcome, Leilani Cano.
Hello, thank you for having me. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Please join us up front. I also would like to acknowledge and welcome the government class from Norwalk High School. Welcome. Dr. Concio, at this time, we'll give the public announcement of actions taken by the board in closed session.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. There was 2 actions taken in closed session. The Board of Education took action during closed session at its meeting held on September 8th, 2025 by a vote of 7-0 to appoint Kyle R. Null to the position of Dean of Students Secondary at Norwalk High School at a monthly rate of $10,391, excluding any longevity, as applicable, effective to be determined. The motion by Ms. Amesqua and seconded by Mr. Bresoff. Second item, the board appointed Peter Bellancourt to the position of Supervisor Maintenance and Operations at a monthly rate of $9,045, excluding any longevity, as applicable, effective to be determined, on the motion of Ms. Amesqua and seconded by Ms. Free. And that concludes all the items for closed session.
Thank you, Dr. Concio. We will now move on to approval of the minutes for August 18th, 2025. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. And then adoption for the agenda for this meeting. We will be closing in memory of three very special people. First, Ms. Sheila Gillen, media clerk, junior at Dulles Elementary. We're very grateful for her years of service to our district. Two other persons of note that passed away recently. Mr. Pete Baker, age 71, brother of board member Becky Langewalter, passed away suddenly recently. Was a La Mirada resident since 2023. Mr. Baker studied computer and keyboarding with Ms. Zachariah at the La Mirada campus of the Norwalk-La Adult School. He was known to his classmates as the Walker, since he would walk the 4 miles round trip to campus. Pete was a member of the longevity stick class through the city of La Mirada, participated in 2024 Love La Mirada Service Day, attended Olive Branch Calvary Chapel, and enjoyed attending La Mirada High School football games. His friendliness and kindness to those around him will be greatly missed. And our condolences to you and your family, Ms. Langewalter. And finally, John Ojaskoba, affectionately known as Chief O, Associate Vice President and Chief of Campus Safety at Biola University, passed away on Sunday, August 31st. Chief O joined Biola in 2000 and was promoted to Chief in 2009. He was widely respected across the nation for his expertise in campus safety and was sought by leaders for his counsel. As one community member aptly noted, he could be at the White House one day meeting with officials and meet with you the next day and treat you with the same importance. Really personally affected a lot of us and was very a joy to be around, and very his present, he will be missed. Beyond his professional accomplishments, he was deeply loved by the Biola community for his humility, faith, and genuine care for others. He is survived by his wife Heidi and their 5 children. And we're also very grateful to Heidi for all her service to our district, many years of substitute and PTA involvement. So thank you. And with those, we'll be closing in memory of, again, Sheila Gillen, Pete Baker, and John Jaskoba. With that in mind, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda for this meeting?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you. At this time, Dr. John Jung will facilitate the recognition of the Norwalk High School counseling team.
All right, good evening. Good evening, President Brashoff and Dr. Concio joining us online, and members of the board, Dr. Baker, Executive Cabinet, colleagues and guests here tonight and online. I have the incredible privilege to be able to introduce our team of Norwalk High School counseling team. They are an incredible team of individuals, loving educators, and very, very smart individuals. And I know this by firsthand. There's other districts that are wanting to learn from our Norwalk High School team. And so we're very proud to have them here. And you know what? I'm going to use the word re-ramping, because they were a ramp. It's the Recognize ASCA Model Program Award. They received that back in 2020, and they were able to receive the award again in July. And we call that re-ramping. And that is also very, very difficult to sustain. They took a whole year to prepare for this, and here we are celebrating in July and today in front of everyone here tonight. So thank you so much for the opportunity to recognize them publicly. They deserve this very much, and I'd like to invite them up to the podium if you want to say a few words. If not, we go straight to the stand, and we will take pictures with our board members. But please join me in welcoming our counseling team of Norwalk High School. Oh, thank you, Dr. Olea. Can we have the board members join our team for a photo session? And Dr. Baker? Are you passing out the beef jerkies to all of us?
I can attest to their years of hard work and really supporting and working hard to support students at every level. Thank you. At this time, we have our public hearing for the state instructional materials. This is item 6 on the agenda. So if anybody has any comments regarding that specific item. Okay, I see none in person. Are there any online?
We did not receive any virtual comments.
Okay, this closes the public hearing on item 6. Item 7, public comment. 3 minutes to address the board on anything within the purview of the board. And now we have Jonathan Verdugo coming up.
Good evening, President Dr. Brasov, Vice President Dr. Cancio, school board members, Superintendent Dr. Baker, executive board and community members. As you all know, my name is Jonathan Verdugo. I am a counselor, school counselor for supplemental programs, where I primarily support the migrant education program and expanded learning programs after school. I want to take this time to take some time to spotlight the invaluable work that our school counseling department is doing to support students academically with their social emotional needs and to prepare them for their future by being college and career ready. Later today, you will have the opportunity to hear from 3 of our incredible high school counseling teams, but I want to use this time to share some of the other good things that our counselors are doing in the district. Over the summer, I, along with 3 of our school counselors, Vanessa Quinta from Norwalk High School, Monica Avshar from John Glenn High School, and Monica Rosales from Los Alisos Middle School, had the privilege of representing our school district at the National School Counselor Conference for the American School Counselor Association, hosted in Long Beach this past July. We presented a session focused on our journey to district-wide school counseling leadership, where we shared with other school counselors and district leaders across the country the practices we have been able to implement over the years to establish counseling leadership within our district. We previously presented a similar presentation at the California Association of School Counselors Conference last October. Some of the biggest highlights were our implementation of the Ask a National model, which you will hear more about later, and the establishment of our counselor leadership team, where 1 counselor rep from each of our schools meets once a month to discuss important items regarding our counseling services and collaborating to build our agenda for the all counselor meetings. Together, we have been able to implement systems of support and build a district-wide core curriculum where any student in the district, regardless of where they attend, would receive the same core lessons by grade level. The school counseling department works very hard and are data-driven in our practice. This has led to 5 of our schools receiving the ramp designation by ASCA, just as Norwalk has re-ramped, and we hope to make it 6 once La Mirada High School is able to submit their ramp application. I am very proud to be a part of this team, and we know our work cannot be possible without the support from our site and district leaders, and we thank all of you for that. Many of our counselors have also been contacted by neighboring districts asking how they can implement these practices at their schools. We also have many school counseling interns supporting our teams, learning how to effectively support students from the best. We are a model school counseling department in our Southern California community, and we are eager to continue our hard work. And we want to thank all of you for allowing many of us counselors to participate at the ASCA conference this past July. There was at least 10 of us that were able to participate, so thank you so much, and excited for the year. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any online comments?
We did not have any virtual comments this evening.
Okay. This closes the public comment time. Now proceed to the employee PTA report. We'll start with a PTA. Dr. Alvarez.
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Brazov, Vice President Dr. Concio, board members, Dr. Baker, community members and friends, and everybody else and anybody that I forgot. My name is Kathy Alvarez, and I'm Secretary for PTA Council, and I'm here on behalf of Andrea. She wasn't able to make it tonight, so I'm giving it the report. So it says, she sent me a whole long thing. Our next PTA event will be our silent auction, Wednesday, October 1st at 6 o'clock at La Mirada High School. Please RSVP, and we hope to see you all there. Our welcome back luncheon was lots of fun. The only thing is we're still missing somebody. Wanted, Dr. Rob Concio. If any of you guys see him, bring him to me, $10,000 reward. Thank you, Mr. Wood and Yolanda Macias, for helping us put this together. Huge thank you to La Mirada Kiwanis, and also for barbecuing, and for the donations, and for Jason, for Mr. Rosewood. It was a great time. We kindly ask you all to join our units for $250. And I have a Zelle number if you need it, let me know. Huge thank you to Dr. Gatto. Is that for your Power Ranger stuff? Oh, I don't know. Anyways, oh no, I guess not. Huge thank you to Dr. Gatto, President Dr. Brazov, Becky, Chris, Staples, and Tanla for your memberships. We appreciate your ongoing support. We had amazing back-to-school nights where our memberships at units increased significantly. Please check out our newsletter created by Danielle. This is the first time we're having a newsletter in a long time. She's our communications person, and she's a student at our La Mirada High School. So check it out for more updates. This concludes our report. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to move on to the California School Employees Association. Ms. Haudegi.
Good evening, President Brasov, Vice President Dr. Concio, Superintendent Dr. Baker, board members, guests in the audience, and guests listening on our online platform. I want to start off by giving some shout outs. That is always exciting to do. So again, it was really nice to open up our school year and welcoming and seeing our opening football games starting this school year. So John Glenn High School, Norwalk High School, La Mirada High School, you know, they had amazing games, and I'm sure that some of them had some winnings there. And I know John Glenn, we won this past Friday, so congratulations to John Glenn. So congratulations to all of them. So that was exciting. My second shout out goes to the employees that work with the McKinney-Vento. These employees were not acknowledged at the last board meeting, but these employees work really hard behind the scenes to do a lot of recruitment for our communities and for our students and our parents. So they were listening last week, and I believe that they should have been here to be honored as the coordinator to do that. So I want to give them a big shout out and thank them for all of the hard work that they do and working behind the scenes and making connections with our parents, making connections with our students, and just giving them that extra support that they need because they do encounter some tough and difficult times. And so I just want to make sure that they are being acknowledged as well. So kudos to them. Awesome news. We met with our Health and Benefits Committee on August 28th. We met with our risk management team, Gallagher, TANLA, Fiscal, and of course, CSEA. And we were very excited to hear that our health and benefits will be lower out of pocket for the January 2026. That is an amazing, tribute and journey and something to celebrate because we always look forward to these health and benefits. We all know how our economy is, and sometimes it is very difficult for some of us to get that extra to pay for our health and benefits. Medical insurance is very important, especially when we encounter disabilities, health issues, concerns. And sometimes we have to be away so we can cover and reheal so that we can come back to work. So again, a big shout out to everyone. And this is an amazing process and journey. Open enrollment is going to start on September 15th. And we are encouraging our employees to make appointments with the representatives to ask questions. And just be a part of that process because it is something to celebrate. So kudos to that. We also had our first chapter meeting on August 19th, and I want to again express my thank you to the following district leadership. In attendance, we had Dr. Gatto in the HR department, along with Mr. Mike Garcia and Julissa Jaques. We also had our SPED team, and that is through Mr. Jim Wood and his amazing staff. We also had risk management, Mr. Lawrence Luna, and he was there providing information for our membership and bringing some new items into our district so that we can support and work with our membership to avoid less injuries, bring down the percentages, and come up with awesome and amazing other things that we can offer to our district employees. And then, of course, last but not least, our new Director of Transportation, Ryan Nguyen. We had an amazing time with our guests in our chapter meeting. We had photos. Those were uploaded into our social media because we always want to promote our district leadership and the amazing work that we do together when we do have that opportunity and having those positive conversations. So again, if you're here, thank you again. And if you're listening, thank you for being at our chapter meeting. Our next chapter meeting is going to be on September, let me see. I'm sorry, yeah, September 16th. And we will be bringing another group of administrators for introduction and also so that they can talk a little bit about what they do, where they came from, and what are the amazing things that they're going to be doing as they are now part of our family here with NLM USD. So just wanted to make sure that we have that online. And a little bit now, I'm going to turn it around to the not so positive items. So there's 3 of them here, or a few of them here. It was very disappointing to hear 3 days before the conference and before some of us flew out to Las Vegas for a conference. There was supposed to be a conference to attend that it's called 5-Star. And this program or this software is very important as some of our high schools are using this software. And this software talks about data and how to, work with our students. So 5-Star is used at 3 out of the 4 high schools. We track student data to help improve attendance and student achievement, provides data to admin and staff about students' needs. For example, 5-Star can track who is requesting counselor wellness, restroom, admin passes. We can use that data to help improve systems. With a handwritten pass, no data is collected. If a student parent calls wanting to know why they are not doing well, with another data point, we can pull up the say your student has requested to go to restroom 5 out of the 6 class periods a day for a total amount of minutes. It also has an incentive program that will help with students' attendance. It also can track guest passes, even event passes to any school event. They can check in and check out through the class pass. We need to train both classified and certificated staff, as this is a program that benefits everyone. Security has access to it, and they can see who is supposed to be out of class and who is not. This is the only conference they offered for the year, and to hear from other school sites so that we can learn best practice and to work and to see what works and what doesn't work, so we can be more efficient. So I don't know if you know, but I'm going to tell you that if we are going to be moving into digital and monitoring our students in a digital way, then this was one opportunity. If this district is investing in a software program to make this process better, then the opportunity was not provided for some of us that were supposed to attend this conference. So how are we supposed to adhere to this training? How are we supposed to adhere and support the data that is requested? So if we are going to be moving into, again, digital and doing away with paper, and now some securities are not allowed to do hall passes to request students to come to the office. Some of us, we have to call and request for students to come in because parents are picking them up. I have to call on the radio to bring up a student when a parent is withdrawing the student from school. All of that are, again, processes that we go through from the beginning, they start school till the end. And if we are not going to be implementing and be consistent with the process, then we're failing the process and we're paying top dollars for it. But this opportunity was not granted. So I'm hoping that there is some type of reconsideration so that this opportunity comes back again, or provide us the training on site so that we can be better productive with this, new program that the district has brought in. It is working at the high schools, but we're still lagging some, training and support and how we can mitigate it better. So I'm bringing this to your attention because, again, this was a good opportunity, and it is a good tool to our students. So I want to bring that to your attention. In reviewing the board docs last night, you guys know I do my homework every time we're going to have a board meeting. And in reviewing board docs last night, you have, again, letters J, K, L, M, N, O. These are all ELOT contracts. Since the last board meeting in July, and when I came back to address to you that there was no conversations with CSEA to engage on how we were going to mitigate these extra duties, again, there has only been 2 meetings with district leadership in regards to this topic. Today, there was a concern that was brought up to my attention. Custodians are now calling and questioning, why do I have to do the night cruise work? Why do I have to do all these things? Why is this extra? Who's making us do this? This does not reflect my work schedule. Again, it's valid. They don't know. They need to be in the know. I requested a meeting from the General Maintenance Director, Gerald Buzz Mitchell, and I have yet to receive a copy of the updated run schedules for all the night crew for elementary and middle school. The response as of Friday was, I'm still working on it. That's not acceptable. Because if this program is supposed to be up and running, then these employees need to have an effective and current run schedule to perform these duties if that is the expectation of this district. I also requested a meeting with 3 secretaries because they are also impacted. I've addressed to you in the past meeting that, who's going to issue keys? Who's going to monitor the time cards? Who's going to turn in time cards so that they can get paid in a timely manner? Who's going to order supplies if need be? And the list goes on. Just because these secretaries are working 8 hours and then they have to deal with whatever's happening with ELAP after their shift, that is additional work that CSEA has the right to negotiate. We have the right and demand to bargain additional work, and this district knows that. CSEA is here, and we are very comfortable having these conversations. But when these conversations are not brought to CSEA or to my membership, then there is a negative expectation. And that is not the way we operate. We're supposed to work together. We're supposed to communicate. And we're supposed to have this data that CSEA is requesting. And I have yet to receive anything. All I get is silence. And again, only 2 meetings with brief and basic information. And at this point, I need that data. So whenever you're launching, ELAP, because my understanding is some of the schools are already working, I'm going to be visiting these schools. I don't know about you, but I don't have a problem visiting these schools at nighttime because my membership are doing work until 9:30 at night. And one particular school is Glacier. I don't know if you know, but I'm going to let you know that there is one female custodian that works completely by herself. And if Glacier is going to introduce ELAP in there, one female custodian cannot do that plus then some. I've requested additional support, and the support has not been granted. And when it was granted, she only got support for 2 hours. 2 hours does not cut it for the amount of work that that school has to do, to clean, to trash, to mop, to sweep, and everything else that she has to do in the office, in the NPR, and in the yard. So I'm bringing that to your attention because I take this serious. This is a priority, and it needs to be prioritized. Board Policy 4053. Board Policy 4053 is a complaint board policy that we have. And I'm going to tell you this policy needs to be revised. I don't know who's in charge of doing that. This past year, I encountered 2 employees filing this policy. It was a long process working with, pertaining leadership, legal counsel, CSEA in a process. When employees are off contract or placed on admin leave, we cannot adhere to a 5-day response after disposition has been surrendered to CSEA and the membership. So that puts constraints in having that process being followed. So if you are the board and you're looking at all of our board policies, it is important that language is modified so that we can really follow the process accordingly. So a fair process, I'm requesting for it to be, be updated. And again, I don't know at this point who's handling board policies, but I'm bringing that to your attention because this is one of the hot board policy items that comes my way all the time. So I want to bring that to your attention. And last but not least, it has been very challenging when we have contract language. As you can see, I highlight, I tag with my little Post-its here. And as you can see, I use my contract a lot. This is my little Bible. And this is how I sit with my membership. I sit with leadership, and we talk about certain items for conversations to follow guidelines and procedures. It has been very challenging this school year. Before we started, the next classification is the school security assistance for the high schools, El Camino, and adult school. There was an email sent by our current chief so that there can be an in-service on August 11th. In that email, there was operational expectations, uniform guidelines, and there was various conversations. We are always in support of change. We are always in support of working in collaboration. But what we are not in support of is when somebody comes in, demanding or wanting a change, it doesn't work that way. And I'm going to tell you why. In this contract, it clearly identifies what the uniform is for these employees. It talks about a polo and a t-shirt, 5 each. We have about 30 security assistants in all the schools that I addressed. You cannot expect that a day before school opens that they're going to follow what the chief wants. It doesn't work that way. I want you to please understand that CSEA has rights. We always have the right and demand to bargain any new item. And like I said, we're not opposed. We welcome it, but it's how it was presented to my membership. There has been pushback because in this email or in the in-service, it was stated that they can no longer wear shorts. I'm sorry, but we've been having a lot of hot weather lately, and you're not out there to deal with it every single day, but they are. So if you don't want them to wear shorts, then why does transportation have a uniform that they can wear shorts? Why does general maintenance have the same thing? Why do custodians have the same thing? That is in their contract, but not for the security assistants. Another item that if they choose to wear a hat, per my last meeting, it was stated from the chief that they would have to go through him, but that they would have to purchase it. No, they don't. If the district is requested and require them for them to wear a uniform, we don't purchase a uniform. The district is obligated to provide that to our employees. So, my labor representative, along with our legal team and myself, are not satisfied with the way this topic has been encountered, how it's been solidified, and how it's been addressed. Not like this. If there had been a meeting to meet with the team, give them time, and the most important thing is present what you want them to wear, I would not be here complaining. But I have yet to see a uniform that Chief wants. I haven't seen one, but it's been ordered. How do you order a uniform, but you haven't introduced it to employees for them to wear? That makes no sense. Again, I'm a leader. We're all leaders in here. And if we're going to implement something, we need to have the proper conversations. We need to show. We need to introduce the platform so that we can work together. And the most important thing, we must always negotiate. This is a chapter-run union. And I'm going to tell you, after it's all said and done, if the chapter does not approve it, it doesn't fly. Everything must be in here. Everything in uniforms is in here. You're more than welcome to pull it up and read under that article. We are going to be having a meeting on Wednesday with all security. Again, we're working a little bit backwards, but again, finally, we're having a meeting so that these employees can give their input and how they feel about wearing the uniform the chief wants them to wear. There's going to be conversations. There has to be a process. We will continue to mitigate the process, and we will, have to have meetings with HR, have meetings with our my labor rep, so that we can enforce, what is being asked of. So, again, I'm always open and transparent with you, and I always exhaust my conversations behind the scenes. But this one has been ongoing since August 11 till last week. And personally, if we all have to follow a process, so does our new chief. He needs to respect this contract, and he needs to have conversations with CSEA. That is my report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Will we be hearing from the Teacher Association of Norwalk-La area? No? Okay, so there will be no Tanler report. This time we have a board committee report. The chair of the committee, Ms. Norma Mesco, will present.
Good evening. Thank you all for being here tonight. We have an update. I am part of the evaluation committee. There's 3 of us, Dr. Robert Cancio, SB Free, and myself. We had our meeting on August 21st, 2025, our first meeting. Our plan is to work on a superintendent evaluation process and also a board self-evaluation process. We've had for many years a discussion on how vague it was, the superintendent's evaluation, so we're revamping it, and the committee is helping and supporting with that. Thank you, Sky Roberts, for helping us, and Dr. Baker, who were part of our meeting on August 21st. I'll start with the superintendent. I'll give you some bullets of what we discussed and how we're going to move forward. With the superintendent's evaluation process, the new format includes SMART goals, action steps, timelines, and measurable indicators. It's going to be a 5-point scale. It's going to replace what we have currently, a 4-point scale. So this one would be a 5-point scale. We emphasize the importance of all ratings to have a brief, meaningful comment. It was very vague before. This one is going to have more area for us to be able to comment. Superintendent will share quarterly updates with us. A full evaluation will be completed each spring. And we also are developing timelines to complete the evaluation for the superintendent's process. For the board self-evaluation, in the 7 years that I've been a member, we've only had one. So we're hoping that we can continue the tradition of having self-evaluations as we move forward. That's going to be conducted annually after the superintendent's evaluation based on governance standards using a 5-point scale and guiding questions. Dr. Lyon and Carolyn Fenders will facilitate, and they were the ones that helped us for our orientation a couple of months ago when we started. In the next steps, there's going to be a draft. That's going to be the updated superintendent evaluation form. We're going to set up a secure submission process, and we're going to coordinate once again with Dr. Lyon and Carolyn Fenders on board self-evaluation design. Overall, it was a great experience. It was 3 of us, and we worked really hard to put this together, and we're hoping that it's going to be a process that we're going to be using as we move forward. We all agreed that it was a really good format, and we're hoping as we bring it to the board that you approve it. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Mesco. This brings us to the superintendent's report. Dr. Baker?
Thank you and good evening. I'm super excited about this new school year. I believe we're off to a great start. This Wednesday, we are going to have our first annual State of the District, and that's going to be an opportunity for our community partners, our families, our parents, students at Norwalk High School in the gym. We're going to just go over our SMART goals, our focus areas, and share some points of pride. Prior to the beginning of the school year, we did this work with our leadership team, and then the principals did that work with the staff at the school site. And so this is really an opportunity for the community and our business leaders and legislators to also learn more about Norwalk-La, where we are and where we're headed. So we're super excited about that experience at Norwalk High School this Wednesday. And most of the folks who are attending have RSVP'd with Mr. Hargraves. So we've got a wide variety of folks who are attending. So that is the latest news there. As Ms. Hadigi said, we have a lot of our football games that are taking place Friday evening. So it's nice to kind of go to La Mirada, then John Glenn, and then Norwalk and see the spirit in which our kids are truly engaged, not just in their day-to-day work at the school sites, but also they really show up to support their athletic peers. And so that's always a fun time. So if you're ever in the area and you want to check out Norwalk-La, you can check out one of our football games just to kind of connect with staff and families and students. Or check us out on our Instagram as well, because many of us are posting there. With that said, I want to turn it over to Mr. Hargraves. Part of what we're doing this year, and we started last year, is we have safety as one of our focus areas. And so this is a campaign that is ongoing. And I love this video because it truly shows the level of investment that our kids and our staff have in this campaign. If you see something, say something.
Welcome back, Norwalk-La. I'm the new Chief of School Safety. We would like to talk to you about our Say Something program and reintroduce you to it. Let's help protect our everyday and report something suspicious or information you feel is wrong. Remember, see something, say something.
As future leaders and protectors, our responsibility starts now. At this academy, we uphold the highest standards of discipline, integrity, and accountability. Your eyes and actions matter. If you see something, say something.
Vigilance is strength, silence is weakness. Be the reason why the school stays safe, strong, and united. Battalion, attack, hood! See something, say something!
I'm at Norwalk High School with Dr. Alea and some cheerleaders. We would like to tell you the different ways to report something.
To report an incident, download the app available in Google Play and Apple stores.
Remember to scan QR codes that are located around campus.
Call a 24-hour telephone number.
Your voice matters, Lancers.
See something, say something.
When you scan the QR code, you will be taken to the website of See Something, Say Something, where you will input your high school, and then it'll ask you a series of questions of when, what, and where. And then you can input the type of concern that you are reporting. Then it'll ask you a description of the person, and you can upload any file, which is video, images, audio, or any descriptions that you have. And then you can click submit.
Well, I'm at a high school with Mr. Webster and some students. We would like to tell you what to report on Say Something.
Concerns someone is being harmed. Bullying, violence, or threats on social media. Concerns of someone harming themselves. Injury, suicide, and drug alcohol abuse. Ways you can learn about certain behavior. Social media posts, YouTube videos, messages, emails, or overhearing somebody else. See something, say something.
Keep La Mirada safe. I'm Officer Patterson. I'm at John Glenn High School with Dr. Padilla and some students. We would like to tell you why to use the Say Something app.
Help a friend that is struggling.
Feel safe at school.
Make the community a great place.
Prevent a tragedy. Feeling empowered. It takes one person to save a life.
It's anonymous.
We are Glenn.
See something, say something.
Hi, I'm at Southeast Academy High School with Master Sergeant Schaefer and some cadets. We would like to tell you who a trusted adult is on campus.
A parent,
Specialist, Massar.
SEA staff, and counselors.
Keep Southeast Academy safe.
See something, say something.
I'm at El Camino High School with some seniors. We would like to talk to you about the 3 steps to say something.
1. Look for warning signs and threats.
2. Act immediately and take it seriously.
3. Say something to a trusted adult or submit an anonymous tip.
If you're interested in our Safe Promise Club, please see one of our advisors, Mrs. Rivas, Miss Mejia, or myself. See something, say something.
So again, we want to make sure if any of our staff or our students see anything that warrants reporting, we have this online tool for you all to make sure that we're in the loop to keep us all safe. And then lastly, I do want to thank our counseling team for being here. I know they have the huge responsibility of making sure that our students are not only safe, but that they're ready for school and life after students transition out of Norwalk-La Unified School District. So we're super excited to hear your presentation tonight. We're blessed to have you guys on the team, and thank you. That concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Baker. This brings us to the business services report. We'll hear all about the unaudited actuals financial report.
Thank you, Dr. Brashov, Board Vice President, Dr. Cancio, board members, audience, and the 40 people watching us via YouTube. Tonight, we are presenting the unaudited actions report, and this report is really the final report that concludes all operations for fiscal year 24-25. The beauty of this report is like, this is not driven by assumptions. These are really the consequences of the assumptions that we had throughout the year. Changes on federal income, state income, and all the changes that we just went through. So this is really how we ended June 30, 24-25. It is called the unaudited actuals because these numbers have not been audited yet. Incidentally, our audit started last week, will continue this week, and we'll go through December when the report will be finalized and will be presented to the board by the CPA third party. We also come back in December with what is known the first interim report, which will have information from July through October. You're really familiar with this slide. We only talking about the general fund, and this slide says that in fiscal year 24-25, we closed the books and we received $289 million. Now, the biggest item, of course, is what is known as the LCFF sources, and this is the average daily attendance. That's when we count the students that they go into the classroom, not necessarily that they enroll, but the students that actually go into the classroom to get some instruction. We also highlight the federal and state funding, and just to make a point that the one-time monies from federal funding, and especially federal funding, are done. We use them all up, and so these numbers are being reduced as we go because we have less one-time monies now. And the one at the bottom, this is contribution. This is minus 39 million plus 39 million. This is really an accounting entry, and it has two components. We receive the monies under the unrestricted general fund for special education. So we have to move that revenue from the unrestricted to the restricted, and it's $30 million. The other $9 million really belongs to maintenance and operations account, and that is the account that pays for all the employees, all the repairs, and all the contracts. So that's how we come up with the $39 million. Now, on the expenditures, same format is broken down unrestricted and restricted. And the highlight on this slide is the first three items are all the employees being funded by the general fund. That is really 84% of the total budget. And then, of course, you have the categories, books and supplies, services, capital outlines, and as you go down. So for fiscal year 24-25, we spent $300 million. So the report that you received last Friday is around 160 pages. It really comes down to this slide. And we talked about the unrestricted general fund. And as you can see, when we compare revenues and expenditures, they're almost about the same. We receive $181.8 million. We spent another $181. So we came ahead close to $700,000. So fiscal year 24-25 really close with no deficit spending, almost even. So that's the excess. And
real quick, was this be the first time in a while we've closed without deficit spending?
no, the last 2 or 3 years we've closed without deficit spending. But then I was going to explain some of the components as to why we closed. Yes. I almost broke my speech because of your question. Okay, so I had to come back again. So ending fund balance. So we're closing the books with $65 million in the bank. And then we are being audited right now. So when you see at the bottom, we have our mandated 3% reserve level. So when people are talking about the reserve level, we're closing the books at 21.6%. Now, going back to Dr. Brash's question, the ending fund balance has quite a few components. Like for example, positions not filled. We know, talking about a 12-month position, we budget for the whole year. And then sometimes people leave, sometimes people will come back. And if the position was open in July and we hire somebody by September, that means that we didn't spend money in July, August, September. So that really creates some savings because we have to assume that the whole amount will be spent throughout the year. And we do that with all the positions. But as people move in and out, that really creates savings when the whole position will not fill for the full 12 months. Then we also have the increase in contracts. You know, every single board meeting, you see our contracts and you approve our contracts. And the contracts range from $5,000, $10,000, $100,000. And the idea is we always get them done with a not to exceed amount, so we don't keep coming back to you asking you for $10,000 more, $25,000 more. Many of the contracts do fulfill the full amount, but there is quite a few, almost a lot of them, that we will say, for example, this contract will be $50,000 throughout the year, but we only spend $40,000. That means that I also need direct savings on $10,000, and that ended up increasing the ending fund balance. Then we have some decreases on legal fees and utilities and reallocations. This is the time where we usually do reallocations, and it usually happens from the unrestricted general fund to the restricted general fund. And the way that it works is this. We have some federal monies that will allow certain expenditures, but sometimes expenditures are sitting on the unrestricted side of the house. And if we can actually move the expenditure legally to the federal funds, we remove them from the unrestricted to the restricted. Thus, it creates a savings for all of us because we have to use the more restricted monies first. We also have what is known as the March deadline. This is really important for us because every single March, we try to stop operations because by March, most of the times, we already done with the contracts, we already bought all the supplies through June, and all the obligations that we have for the last 3 or 4 months. And even though this is not a perfect system, it's almost like putting a brake into the budget. So that indirectly also creates some savings. And the savings will drop into the ending fund balance. We have an increase on our interest income. And then we still have some state one-time monies that do belong into that $65 million. And before I go into your question, before I forget, this report has to be done from July to the 3rd week of August. So it's a 7 weeks process. It is really intense. And I really would like to thank our fiscal services, our Director of Fiscal Services, Alba Diaz, her team, Lucy Lopez, Linda Hernandez, and the team, because this type of report doesn't have extensions, doesn't have, I'll do it next week, I'll do it tomorrow. It's a hardcore deadline. And that really concludes the presentation if the board has any questions.
I just have one question. I know that in June you gave multi-year projections, and on there, can we go back to slide 3? And on there we had a 12.10 total reserves, 12.10%, but on this one it's 21.6. So can you just talk about a little, how we got from 12 to 21?
Well, for example, the $65 million on the last bullet that says one-time monies, that one-time monies alone is $11 million. And as you can see, this report does not have any multi-year projections anymore because the multi-year projections were created in June for the current year. So those numbers don't apply to this.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Mr. Rios?
Yes, thank you. Well, Eduardo, every time you come up here, you throw all kinds of numbers, and I'm glad that you're putting it a little bit more simpler for the community to know, because I know we go through 100 and something pages through the weekend to try to make sense to come in here at the end. Okay, we're okay, or we're not okay, right? But I really like the fact that you're making it simpler. You're putting it out there. You're putting the bullet points, and just for to know. I know that she asked the difference between the 12 and the 21. Should we be looking at more savings coming up pretty soon in regards to the solar?
Thank you, Mr. Rios. That's a good question, and I completely forgot that piece. It's 2 components in here. On the solar systems, we already accounting for the savings. Now, the more that the solar panels will produce, hopefully those savings will increase.
So some of the savings was already on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then even though we're at 21% on the ending fund balance, this ending fund balance is for us is considered one-time monies. It has no impact as we go into the future when we do some kind of projection on deficit spending. because the ending fund balance on this report will become the beginning fund balance, but it doesn't translate for the next 3 years because every year is completely different.
Thank you. I just, any estimate of how much roughly maybe we would be saving on for electrical because we're using?
Well, we started with almost $300,000 a year.
That's pretty good. Thank you.
Sure.
Ms. Finkelter?
Yes, thank you. Estrardo, thank you very much. I know how much work is represented here to get all these numbers in. Help me, I think I've asked this question before, in layman's understanding, when you say our general reserve is 21.59%, maybe I'm not sure, that's a percentage of what it costs us to operate for 1 year, or tell me what that percentage is.
The calculation on the reserve level, it appears on the unrestricted general fund, but it takes expenditures from both. It takes from the unrestricted and the restricted, and it takes almost a 3%. And that's how we come up with the 9%. Because the unrestricted, well, the name kind of gives it away. It has no restrictions. And then that's the one that is more flexible, because the restricted monies have a lot of components. Some are exclusive for training, certain students, all the subgroups. So we just cannot take those monies and say, well, we're planning to do X, because they're completely restricted for certain populations and certain actions.
So would it be fair to say that 21%, so we have enough in reserve to carry us 1/5 of our needs for a certain period of time?
Well, we usually spend on a monthly basis between $25 and $27 million a month. That includes payroll for all of us. That includes all the supplies, all the contracts. So say, for example, that the state, they completely stopped giving us monies. So if one pay and one monthly obligation is around $25 million, for example, then we'll be able to probably survive like 2.5 months, basically to make payroll.
Okay.
And then to pay, the air conditioning and the water.
Yeah. Oh, that helps to put it in perspective.
Yes.
Okay, great. All right. That's all the questions I had. Thank you.
Ms. Free?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I have one more question. What are the projections on the savings due to those solar panels? And also, are we prepared with everything concerning those solar panels? So if electricity goes out, do we have those, what are they called? Firewalls, batteries? They're not generators. Is that what it is? Did I say it right? Power walls. Thank you. Are we ready with those as well, so that there's that backup?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I'll have to come back on that one.
Okay. Because I'm thinking that over the years we'll continue to save more and more when it comes to electricity.
Well, by definition, it compounds as we go into the future.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. How soon will we know, I guess, about making sure that we're all set to go fully on those solar panels, so that if there is outages, thank goodness we didn't have any during these hot days. Normally there's rolling blackouts, right? We have those batteries in place.
I'll probably find out by tomorrow.
Thank you.
Sure.
Ms. Trios?
Thank you, Sardo. Yeah, and that brings me back to the concept that not all of our sites have the solar. So that's one thing that we probably may need to look into the future, right, to make sure, because if you save, you just brought up the fact of, the blackouts. Well, some schools will be okay, but those that don't have it, would have to go on the emergency if we need to bring in generators or whatever else.
And if we're not ready with those batteries, and those blackouts are causing disruption to education.
Yeah. So just thank you for giving us the great information. Every time you come up, I know I learned something new, and it just feels like you're teaching a class. So, and I know you got some students here, and I just, they're probably listening to what restricted, not restricted. They probably want to know. I mean, maybe you want to give them a little bit of information just for the students, just so they know what the difference. I mean, they're here, they're from our government class, and I think they took the time to be here. I don't know if, did you give them extra credit for being here today, or they're just here? Okay. Awesome. So yeah, I think a little bit would help. I don't know if you want to do it now, but you can stop by maybe by the classroom and give them a little bit. Because I saw one of them, like when he heard the number or how much we spent, he was like, "Wow!" Right? So yeah, so it's just educational. I'm glad you guys are here. I just want to thank you guys for being here, and thank you for Mr. Santillan for giving us a report today.
Oof. Okay, thank you, Mr. Rios. Oof.
Just a final question, kind of piggybacking my first question. The year projections kind of give a bleak picture of, at the current rate, we're going to be bankrupt in 5 years, but this is much better than projected. And those projections were only 8 weeks ago. So again, for the future years, but it's quite a difference from quite a different picture than we got I mean, it's a happy surprise, but it's a surprise from a few weeks ago.
Well, no, and please let me add, I'm sorry, not Mr. Brashov, Dr. Brashov. We're talking about two different reports over here. We're talking about the budget report that we created back in June for the next 3 years. This year being year number 1. And then in year number 1, we had to take into consideration all those high conversations about future funding. Remember, we went through, quite a few weeks that certain federal funding was going to be cut, and it was going to be really impactful because we were not talking 300,000 over here. We're talking $7 to $10 million a full cut. So, and then in that respect, we had to be really careful because we have more than 3,000 people attached to this budget. So it is better to add money into the budget to cutting it, because if I put too much money in there, and all of a sudden we are being reduced $10 million, then the $10 million will have to come from somewhere. So it is easier for lack of a better word, to add into the budget, like more money, instead of cutting it.
Thank you.
Sure.
And Mr. Santillan, just for clarity, the unaudited actuals that you're presenting on are relative to last school year's
Correct.
budget and last fiscal year. And then what the projections that people have seen in June are for the future, for this year and for 2 years out.
Absolutely, Dr. Baker.
Okay.
The NYP is from 25-26 to 27-28.
And that's largely because we're expecting a lot of the one-time monies to go away,
Well, yes.
and decrease in enrollment.
Mhm.
And so we should hear something audit by December, correct? Somewhere around there?
That's when the auditors come back and then they make a presentation.
Thank you.
And around the same time, we bring the first interim report with the new projections.
For our audience, would you be able to weigh in on, at one point we heard that we weren't going to get federal money for all of our important restricted programs, but we also learned later we are going to get it. Is there different people making decisions about how that's allocated, or does that follow a template that was already there? Are we expecting much change in the way that those federal funds are allocated, and was it about the same amount that we got in the end, or that we will get?
Sure. The way it started it was the budget was already done, and then we had news that some of the federal funding was going to be cut. So, and then instead of being on reactive mode when those news happen, it's usually better when you wait a few weeks until things settle a little bit. And then we didn't want to create any panic throughout the district. 2-3 months went by, and then that decision was reversed. But then it really comes from from federal to the state, and then we get the guidelines from the state directly to say, this is the new amount of money, and you have to spend it this way, for example.
Any further questions or comments?
I think I'm the most seasoned. I've been here for a while, and I know that there's times when people might ask, oh, look, it's a high percentage. But I like that you're very conservative because we don't know what could happen next year.
Mhm.
So you're always thinking ahead. And like you said, we have 21%, right, at this time. If we lose, if the state doesn't give us any money, we still have to pay payroll. We still have to pay all the things that we have. And if we use that money, I know sometimes we say, oh, but there's money. There's people that say there's money. Why can't we use it for salary increases or bring in more programs? But he's being conservative because we don't know if we're going to have that money. So we need to make sure that we have, so that for the future, at least a couple of years, we'll be not safe, but at least have that money to be able to cover all of our expenses. So just a thought.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Mr.
Thank you
Satya.
very much.
And now Dr. Joanne Jung will give next presentation, the Educational Services Report.
Say that one more time. Oh, just use that. Okay, or I can do that one. Okay. All right, great. All right, thank you. Good evening. I'm back here on the podium. All right, my team is with me. Thank you. Once again, I'd like to begin by celebrating the outstanding work of our school counselors throughout our schools. And through their dedication and commitment, our district has earned multiple ramp designations, and most recently, I'm super excited about this, the distinguished CSBA Golden Bell Award validation visit. So we're in yes, let's give our counseling team an applause. We're in the process of planning that right now, and you will be hearing more about that through Dr. Baker. These honors go beyond recognition. They highlight the thoughtful planning, daily commitment, and unwavering support of our counselors that provide for our students all the way from TK to adult school. And we definitely would like to highlight their dedication and commitment. This evening, you will hear directly from our counselors about the meaningful work taking place at La Mirada High School, John Glenn High School, and Southeast Academy. We are also joined tonight by several counselors in the audience. And at this moment, I'd like to pause and recognize our John Glenn, Southeast, and La Mirada High School counselors. Please stand. They're here to support their colleagues and be united as a team. And I'm pleased to introduce our presenters representing their teams, Mr. Paul Castaños, Ms. Monica Afshar, and Mr. Jeff Arizana. At the center of this work is our focus. At the center of our work is our focus in preparing college and career readiness. And you know what? I forgot to flip to the next slide. Look at this beautiful slide. These wonderful, beautiful individuals, professionals, and they were preparing for this presentation. They actually took this photo on Friday morning and slid it right into the slide presentation. So great photos, team, great photos. And at the center of this work, as I was sharing, is a focus on preparing our students for college and career ready. And we want to honor our Board of Education's goal number 2, because that is our goal, college and career ready graduates. And it's directly aligned to our board goal. And then success of our students affirms the strength of our counseling program and its vital role in equipping them for life after high school. So the work begins early. As you can see, we have again, beautiful photos. And I do want to highlight one individual here today. If you look at the photo on the left, are young students. And especially the young student on the left photo wearing the white gown. She is our La Pluma elementary student, a daughter of our presenter, Miss Monica Afshar. And so I heard that she was so proud of her mom that she gets to come here and present to the Board of Education in public, that she wanted to prepare to be here today. And she even brought schoolwork and she's ready to go and she's in support of her mom. So let's give her a hand. So you get to hear from all of our wonderful counselors. And at this point, I'd like to invite Mr. Paul to the podium to begin our presentation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Young. Superintendent Baker, Dr. Brassoff, and distinguished board, we are so excited to present to you today. I just want to remind everybody in the picture, I've always been the tallest in my class, and the camera does add a few pounds, so I hope I look a little bit better in person. We at John Glenn, Southeast Academy, and La Mirada High School are honored to present to you this evening as we prepare to apply and reapply for ramp and re-ramp designation. In 2001, John Glenn and Southeast both received ramp designation. And as a result, we have been using the ASCA model, which we'll talk in more detail in a minute. But this distinction is based on using a framework that addresses not only the academic, but the social emotional and the college and career needs of our students. Currently, there are 106 ramp schools in California. Norwalk-La Mirada does have 5, but we put 4 because we did not include the honor that was bestowed upon Norwalk High School, which is re-ramped, and so they're the 5th. And we're in great expectation that following your approval of the applications, going forward, that La Mirada will also join that distinction as well, and we'll have 6 schools in our district that are ramp recognized. As we move forward, this is really a significant move in terms of Norwalk led the way in being ramped, and they are leading the way in being re-ramped. And so we're excited about the fact that we are moving towards being re-ramped with Southeast Academy, and we'll be applying in this October. That being said, to give more context as far as the ASCA national model, I'm going to invite Ms. Afshar to come up and go ahead and present that aspect.
Hello, everyone. So the counselors in our district know I love the ASCA national model. It brings me so much joy because it's all about data. It's about access, opportunity, and creating success for our students, helping to cultivate success. So with the ASCA national model framework, it is data-driven. So every school counseling program has to review their data at the start of every year, come up with their own personal counseling goals, create an action plan, deliver that action plan, evaluate it, then look at the end of semester data and move forward. So it's a cyclical process. It's continuous evaluation of data and seeing what the results are and the impact is on students. So we absolutely love the model. As you'll see later on this presentation, we have results. At John Glenn High School and Southeast Academy High School, we've been implementing the model since 2019. So we have seen what impact it has on our school community. And in terms of applying for re-ramp, we had to wait 5 years for that opportunity. So we're so excited it's finally here. We last applied for ramp in October of 2020. Now here we are, 2025. We're ready to go for another award for our school and for our community. So with the Recognized ASCA Model Program, RAMP, you have to implement the ASCA National Model with fidelity, and you have to consistently implement it throughout the school year. And so with this award, it's for exemplary school counseling programs, and so you're held to a higher standard. With this model, you have to submit an application, and you have to score at least 54 out of 60 points to earn the Recognized ASCA Model Program award. Some benefits of RAMP that we've seen are just continuous implementation of the model, constantly looking at data, and also just bringing awareness from the community onto our school counseling programs and to our district as well. I would say an unintended benefit or result that we've seen from having RAMP is other school counseling districts have looked to our district for support. They've reached out to us. How do you implement the model? Tell us about the process of applying for RAMP. We've had the opportunity to apply to present at conferences, Ask a Conference, our state conference for California, and also just speaking on behalf of John Glenn Southeast Academy. We've built incredible partnerships with our neighboring universities. We have a very strong partnership with Cal State Dominguez Hills and Cal State Long Beach. At our 2 sites alone, we've hosted 27 school counseling interns in the past 2 years. So we have these new students that are in their grad programs, and they're seeking out our district, they're seeking out our site to learn how to implement the model. How do you apply for RAMP? And they're taking their knowledge and they're being hired in other districts and really continuing to promote student success. So it's just been incredible to see just the impact our counseling programs have had not only on our students, but also on the next generation of school counselors. So we've been very excited to see all of that. And so to discuss the RAMP application and provide some details, I want to turn it over to La Mirada counselor, Mr. Jeff Arenzana.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Okay, so what does all this mean? This is something tangible. This is actually the work that we do. These are the different tasks that we have to complete. So at La Mirada High School, we're in the process of being ramped, so we're in it. And so these are some of the things that we're doing and that we've done and we're working on. So like our vision and mission statements, annual student outcome goals and plans, classroom group student standards, annual administrative conferences, advisory councils, annual calendars, lesson plans, classroom instruction results, small group results, closing that gap action plan results. So these are the tangible stuff that we're doing together as a team over at La Mirada High School. And so just one of the, here's some things that we're actually doing. So as a team, as a counseling team, we go into the classrooms several times throughout the year. This is just highlighting, this is just a snapshot of the 9th grade lessons that we do. We do a freshman 101 credits and GPA lesson. We do a introduction to higher ed and careers. We create a 4-year plan, a 4-year A through G plan with the students. Again, this is just 9th graders, and this is 3 different presentations, but we do presentations for 10th graders, 11th graders, and 12th graders throughout the year. Some of the things we do is we do small groups. We did a SMART goal small group lesson last year where we took some 9th graders who basically were failing classes, and we created small groups with each of us took a group and went with them over like 4 different sessions. And we have some results from that as well. We got some positive results, and the number of Fs were able to go down from some of these lessons that we were given. And just some small results, A through G rates. Class of 2022, we had 54% completion rate. And then 3 years later, our class of 2025 had 56%. So we'll take that 2%. And then dual enrollment rates. Class of 2022, we had 50 students complete 82 college courses. By the class of 2025, that went up, more than doubled. 113 students completed 307 college courses. And I'll go ahead and call up Mr. Castaños again.
Thank you. So to come to the end, our focus has been college readiness. And so with this model, we've been cultivating college and career culture. We've been focused on A through G completion and dual enrollment. The powerful thing about this model is that once we start to implement it, and since we've been implementing since 2018-19, what we've seen is that it's become contagious among our community in the sense that a lot of what has happened now is that it's being student-led in the sense that they're coming in saying, hey, my friend's graduating in red, I want to graduate in red. I want to stole, they got a stole, I want to stole. They're starting to ask, how did you get your GPA boost? And they're like talking about dual enrollment. So this is the thing that has been so powerful about the framework, that it allows us to target exactly those areas that create opportunity for our students, and it causes them to grow. So one of the really just, these are just a few of the highlights that we're very proud of. In class of 2018, we had a 23% A through G rate. And now, with implementing the model, being consistent, being data-driven, being intentional, we're at 57.4. And so that has been, we're even shocked in the sense of just seeing how the students are just so driven now to want to reach and exceed those goals. Each class has exceeded the previous class. In regards to dual enrollment, the class of 2018, we had 17 students complete 28 college courses. This last graduating class, we had 75 students take 264 college classes with C's or higher. And so we have been very blessed by the district support of the ASCA training and the things that were implemented early on. We have taken that, we have run with it, and we are very grateful for what's happened. I just want to give recognition to the fact that it takes a village to do this. And so the reality is, over the past 2 years, with the leadership and support of Dr. Jennifer Padilla, Dr. Christine Mendoza, who's in the room, our amazing team, which is Miss Cindy Engstrom, which is Miss Monica Ashfar, who we call the ASCA Queen. She knows everything there is to do with ASCA. And then Miss Femi Cervantes, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, but is an integral part of our team. And Miss Anna Patty Sierra. And then our amazing data clerk, who is so responsive, Miss Elizabeth Bautista, who's in the room and just helps us all the time with the data that we need. She's so ready to provide that for us. So we thank you so much for your support. We thank you so much for your time this evening. And if there's any questions, we're open to those questions now. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, I don't have a question, but I do have a comment. And my comment is thank you for watching over our kids that are out there. I know you get in more involved and you actually know their lives as they open up to you guys and the differences. And I know going way back 2009 and even back then, I know that I used to walk Norwalk-La because I was a PTA president. All of our amazing counselors and even at John Glenn, everywhere I went, you guys have done such a great support for our students. Having all three of my boys graduate from Norwalk-La Mirada, 2 John Glenn and 1 from Norwalk. Knowing the support and everything you guys give out there, I just want to thank you guys for everything you do and all your staff that works with you guys. And I know that our after school program, and he gives a lot of his time for a migrant program.
Yeah.
And Jonathan, and I know that, it's a time you can't get back, but I want to thank all of you for just staying afloat with our kids, because every generation is different and you guys have to shift and move depending on each student. So thank you. And that's all I got, but thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rios.
Good, Ms. Lingwalter?
Yes, wow, that's so encouraging. What an important role within our school district to have good counseling and to see your completion of A through G go more than double in 6 years. That's real momentum and that's beautiful. And I love that the students have caught it and they are even doing it with their peers and with themselves. And so really, really appreciate all of you that have been involved.
I just want to say thank you as well for the love and the passion that you have to help our students. I think being a counselor is so, so important in the lives, especially during this time when our students need that support. And I just want to thank you all for the hard work that you've put into this program and just, really doubling up the numbers and making a huge impact on the lives of our students. Thank you.
Go ahead, Dr. V.
Thank you. Your outcomes speak for themselves. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm going to say thank you too. Thank you for all you do and continue the good work.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and just as we look at these, this ASCA model and the reward, really the point of the application is to implement, right? To encourage implementation. And it's not just filling out paperwork and it feels like a side gig to fill out the paperwork. No, the whole point of that is to implement it, and you are doing a great job of that. I was just reflecting, I still remember my high school counselor, how she, gave me lunch money when I was hungry one day. And, just, I remember that from, a long time ago. But the impact that high school counselors have is tremendous, and it's long lasting. And this is not an 8:30 to 3:30 job. I know many of you work far into the night, filling out paperwork, getting kids ready for college, preparing them for next steps. So thank you for your hard work.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, this brings us to the action items. Item number 13. And let me see here. Start with the A through G. Measure G, A through D, item A through D on Measure G. The other one was fresh in my mind. We'll do them all together. Can I get a motion?
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries 6-0. And then for the consent, item 15, which is the consent agenda. Would any colleagues like to pull any items from the consent agenda? Okay, hearing none, can I get a motion for the consent agenda? Items 16 through 26, motion by Dr. Vidaude.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries 6-0. And that brings us to board communications. We'll start with Dr. Vidaude.
Thank you, President Dr. Brashoff, and good evening, colleagues and guests. I have a brief report. I visited Garden Hill Elementary School last week, and I enjoyed the tour, as well as my conversation with the principal, Miss Gilbert. And I'm glad that I was able to see the 2 playgrounds that are still being installed or built completely. They're just amazing. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Since our last time, myself and our president, Brashoff, walked Southeast John Glenn to see how things were moving forward and the checking on all the allegations that the parents and had brought up to concern and the students. And we were happy to see that everything had been worked on or was being almost finished. And obviously there is a few more things that we do need to work on, but I think that everything's going well. I really like the fact that the students were integrating during the lunchtime as we passed, because we stood there, 2 hours, I believe, 2.5 hours. And we visited the concern areas, and obviously some of them we still have to work on, like I said, but I'm glad that everything's up to par. And I would just like to keep an update, if we can keep an update on how things are moving and how things are going and what else, maybe some of the stuff that we still need to work on. Other than that, I actually made I believe it was on the August 29th football game at John Glenn. I got to see Dr. Baker there. I know the kids were pumped and excited, and I really love the fact that our Southeast Academy kids were there. I got there a little late, and I didn't get to see the opening, but I heard that they did the flag, right? the kids did. I wanted to ask them to see if somebody had caught a video, but I think that would have been nice to see that they were there being part of and participating. But what I really did like is that they were there walking around. They were in their uniforms. They were sitting together cheering for the football team. And I thought that was great to see that collaboration, once again, just want to thank everyone who has put a grain of salt in everything that we've gone to get to this point of the new year. Everybody works hard. I understand that everybody's got their different roles and participations in what they do. But thank everyone for their hard work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rios. Ms. Free?
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Thank you, PTA, for having that welcome back luncheon. I just want to say they have a reward out for me for $10,000. I just want to turn myself in, okay?
Well, they found me that day.
It was great. It was great fellowship as well, getting to meet so many new faces there. So thank you. I myself was able to visit John Glenn High School and Southeast and to see how things are going. And I was actually really pleased as well, all the hard work that's been taking place so that we can accommodate everyone. I was able to be there during lunch as well. And I got to see their interactions with the students. I thought it went well. The classrooms look great. And I know, as my colleague had said, there's a couple of things that we're still working on, but they're not being ignored. Our team is definitely working hard to get those things done. So thank you so much, Buzz and Edith, once again, for giving me the tour and showing me around. And I was fortunate enough as well to visit our adult school this past Tuesday last week. And I was so pleased with all the hard work that they're doing there and all the amazing programs that we offer. The community there is so, they just take a lot of pride in participating in those classes. And I just want to say our fees compared to private trade schools are so much lower. I want to say probably 80% lower. They go in about 20, maybe more than $20,000, but we're giving courses for $2,400 medical assistant program, $1,400 for nurse assisting, and $2,900 for phlebotomy, medical billing and coding, $1,200 for the entire year. And I could just go on and on. Dental assisting, $2,000. And these courses are going way above $20,000. So they're doing great work there. I myself want to take a class there pretty soon. So I just want to thank Director Mindy and Assistant Director Travis for giving me the tour and taking that time to show me around. I love Excelsior High School. It is something that brings the community together. I mean, it's a building over 100 years old, and it's something very special to us who grew up here in the area. I also realized that there's some work being done behind the stadium, which is from the production company. So that's about $411,000. Is that what we're getting? So that's great, income coming in for the beautiful school that we have. I take a lot of pride in Excelsior High School. There's not a time in my life I didn't know about Excelsior High School because I grew up right across the street. So great work, everyone. And thank you so much for giving me that tour. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Ms. Amesqua?
I had the opportunity to attend the Head Start Policy Council. I am part of the committee on August 26th. I want to give kudos to our president currently president that we have at the Policy Council. This is where they meet. So they sit here in our dais, which is really nice and interesting. But kudos to Leticia Spinola. She's doing an amazing job as president. I also wanted to share that when we're talking about the adult school, I am taking an Excel class. $15 for 7 classes. You can't top that. So I am going to take the 7 classes and then I'm going back for the intermediate. Okay, so another $15, $30. You can't beat that. Even if you go to Cerritos, it's going to cost you $134. So really, I encourage everyone to go take an Excel class with me. So she didn't say it, but I was in class and she came in with Mindy.
I saw her. And I said, why didn't you tell me? I wanted to take this class too.
And I'm learning so much. So I'm grateful that we have these programs for our families, for our community. I am taking advantage of it as myself, and it's a great opportunity. I also want to let you know that Norwalk Lions Club is having their annual pancake breakfast. So if you're able to come and join us, it's going to be on September 21st. Remember, all the money that we make in fundraising goes back to the community in forms of eyeglasses, scholarships, and you name it, a lot of activities that we do here in the city of Norwalk. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Muska. Ms. Langwalter?
Great. Thank you, President Brasov. I also got the pleasure of attending the Welcome Back Luncheon from the PTA. And so exciting that the funds they raise, it goes right back to the kids. But President Brasov was there along with Ms. Free and Mr. Rios, of my colleagues, and they fed us a yummy lunch. And we also had the challenge of guessing which American song was being tooted out for us on a kazoo by Dr. Kathy there. But it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun that afternoon. And the other activity that I really was there for personal reasons I wanted to meet the teacher at the La Mirada Adult School that my brother had been studying under. And wow, what an experience. So he was taking a class from Mrs. Zachariah. This is all under the direction of Mindy Chung, the director of our adult program. But just so much care that was showed to him. They had gotten a special piece of equipment that was suited for what he needed, a keyboard, and they're going to keep that and use it. But I just want to say, when you catch someone doing something just exceptional, it was such a nice visit. She shared with me personal conversations and even shared some photographs with me. And so I thank our teachers and staff like Mrs. Zachariah there. And I know there are many of you out there, and we just, it makes a difference what you do. It made a huge difference in my brother's life. So I thank you. And that's it.
Thank you, Ms. Langwalter. Dr. Concio has signed off a little earlier. I had the opportunity to attend the PTA luncheon. Thank you. Thank you for the time and just to meet it was piggybacking on a principals meeting. Like I walk in, I'm like, wow, this is like the brain trust. Just all this. It was great to be there. Then on the 22nd on Friday, I got a chance to go with Mr. Rios to John Glenn High School in Southeast, and again to check in on the student concerns and parent concerns. Acknowledging, yes, there's work to continue to be done. There's work that has been done and is continuing to be done, but like my colleague said, it's not being ignored. It's not like, well, it's off to the side, we don't care. Not at all. They are working diligently to address those issues. To working really hard. I want to commend Buzz's team, Edith, and also Dr. Padilla and Master Sergeant Schaefer for all their work in making it happen, making it work for the good of all our students. That'll conclude my report. And this brings us to closing. Again, we want to remember that we are closing in memory of Pete Baker, brother of Miss Becky Langwalter, Chief John Ojiskoba, Sr., and Miss Sheila Green. May I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Motion carries.